Content creation versus business owners. Now, I'd like to speak about the difference between the two because I think there is a little bit of a misunderstanding, especially in the business owners world. You do not need to become a content creator on social media or YouTube to become a successful business owner. You can use social media, you can use YouTube to build your business and build your own personal brand without becoming a content creator. Now, the example I'd like to use in this one is Mr. Beast versus Alex Hormozi. Each has very different goals when it comes to their social media and what they're putting out and why. If you don't know, my name is John. I am the owner of Basic As Media. And in this episode, I would like to go over how I can help, how you can, I would like to go over how we can help you as a business owner think like a content creator whilst making content for your business. This is episode 1 of the Basic As podcast. Hopefully, I will work out all the kinks. Hopefully, it is enjoyable. If you are listening, I do put the video up on YouTube. However, nothing there is needed. I'm trying to make this purely for audio and with limited visuals. The reason I want to do that is because I want to do limited editing. I don't want to add much B-roll and those types of things because I want to focus on the content and not so much the editing and stuff like that. Because I believe for business owners, the last thing you want to do is get into high editing, high retention types of stuff. You just want to make a video that's going to help your customers know who you are and then go through it. So, getting back to the example, Mr. Beast versus Alex Hormozi. What is Mr. Beast's main objective with all of his videos? It's to get the most views. For him, he is just trying to get the most views possible because he doesn't have anything to sell. He does now, but compared to a strictly business owner, he doesn't have anything to sell. So his idea is to create the most outlandish video that will get him the most views so that then he can go back to advertisers and say, hey, look, my last video got 300 million views. It's going to cost you $1 million to sponsor us so that then they can use that $1 million to go make another outlandish video. So he relies heavily on leaning into algorithms and trying to trick and hack the media so that it is more retention-based editing. That's a term that they've used. And compared to someone like Alex Hormozi, who is a business owner who is creating content to help other business owners, he has slowly shifted over the last sort of 60 days, maybe a bit longer, 90 days, to being a lot more raw, a lot less editing. There still is quite a lot, but he does have a whole team behind him. So as a business owner, what can you take away from this? It's about the quality of your content, what you're actually talking about, and then delivering it in a way that your audience is going to understand. Okay? So for me, I am speaking to business owners. So you aren't necessarily content creators. So I'm not going to speak highly technical to you about content and how to make content. I'm going to talk about how you can make it easily. Because if I'm speaking to a service-based business like a plumber, he doesn't necessarily need to know all the ins and outs of how to make a video. It's more important about what he makes his video on compared to how he edits it. Okay? So that comes into the next point of a mindset shift. We need to shift away from the creator's mindset. And currently, the creator's mindset is hyper edited, hyper retention based editing, where it is very changes every 1.5 to 2 seconds. there's zoom ins, there's zoom outs, there's all those types of things. That takes a long, long, long time to edit and also get right because it can be too much. So it's finding that really good balance. However, you as a business owner don't necessarily have that time or want to invest that much time making those types of videos because it also may not speak to your ideal client. Mr. Beast, if we're using that example again, Mr. Beast's audience are very young. So what is their buying capability when it comes to products? He sells chocolate bars. Yeah, so that's pretty simple, right? And it is designed for a very specific market. Where you, as a business owner, are selling to most likely an adult because they have to be able to pay for your services. A kid's not going to buy a plumbing service, that type of thing. So it's very important to realize that so that then you need to take a step back and create more content for those types of people. Now, does that mean you don't create fun, exciting things? Absolutely not. You can do that if you'd like, but you've just got to keep in mind that it does take a lot longer and there is a lot more work involved, and the payoff may not be necessarily worth it in the short term. Because if you need leads today, then making a, challenge video isn't necessarily going to get that. It might get you lots of views, but it might not be the right type of views. But if you make a very specific video solving a very specific problem in your niche, then you're going to get better leads. It may not get as many leads, but you'll get better leads. Okay. And now, why do I believe video is so important? So my big thing is making videos. I'm not much of a writer myself. You can see from my notes here, they are not very long. They are not very big. I'm much more of a talker than I am a writer. So I personally like video. I watch video, I make videos, I talk about videos, that type of thing. Because I believe it is the easiest way to build trust with your audience. So people get to see who you are, people get to make a decision about whether they like you or don't like you, and then from there, you can then sell them stuff if you'd like. So that is my thought process behind making videos, because it's the next best thing to being in person with someone. You're going to know, like, and trust someone a lot better when they're physically there. You can sort of read their energy. You can see their body language. You see how they present themselves, but that's unlikely to be able to do that on such a large scale. So you want to be able to do something that's going to imitate that as well as possible. And that is video. Instead of writing a post, instead of taking a picture and writing a post, having a video shows people who you are, how you have your mannerisms. You see, I'm using my hands a lot, that type of thing. Then when they meet me in person, they already know what I'm going to act like. Okay. I turn it up, of course, a bit for the video, that type of thing. But for all intents and purposes, I am very similar to how I am on camera as how I am off camera. Compared to if you write something out, you edit it a heap of times, and then from there you put up the most polished version on social media, and then they meet you in person and you're not as polished because that's not who you really are. So this allows them to see your personality and see who you are, so that then they can make a better decision whether they know, like, and trust you. And that's the most important thing. And so that's what I wanted to cover in this first episode. I wanted to try and keep this under 5 minutes. However, I have not. The aim is to try and keep it nice and short, nice and sharp. That makes it so that I have to articulate my points that much better. And then hopefully get across to you the importance of the topic that I'm talking about. So I don't want to go on long-winded, that type of thing. I understand this is long-winded right now because I'm talking about not being long-winded. How ironic, but that's my point. So if you like this, continue to keep watching, continue to listen in, and please leave your comments below if you have any questions about this, because that is how I'm going to get the best feedback. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking about what I think. However, I want to answer your questions. See ya.